Hi everybody, it's Christopher and welcome to Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different on YouTube. In my years working with CNIB and doing presentations, I often talked about the 4 age-related sight loss conditions and how they are affecting more and more people every day as our population as a whole gets older. Those being cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and diabetic retinopathy. And it wasn't uncommon that I had clients come in to the building at CNIB and tell me that they had, glaucoma in this eye and macular degeneration in this eye and cataracts in both. And I kind of walked away from that thinking, well, these aren't trading cards. We don't collect them, or we shouldn't be trying to collect them. And that kind of leads me into what I want to talk about today, in that in addition to my CVI, cortical visual impairment, I, according to one of my ophthalmologists, also have glaucoma, or at least I'm developing it. Now, it hasn't really been affecting me as far as my peripheral vision goes when I'm doing, when I'm looking around and I feel like I've got my full peripheral. But 2 things are leading to this. On one hand, my pressures have always been a little bit high. You know that little puff test that they do on the eye? They're testing your eye pressure, or your IOP. And my pressures have always been a little bit on the high side of normal, which one of my ophthalmologists a number of years ago told me was not uncommon because I have hydrocephalus. Okay, great. So then I wasn't really worried about it, and he seemed actually less worried about it once he knew that I had hydrocephalus as well. But now I'm seeing a new ophthalmologist, and he is all over it. And the other thing that I think has led to him wanting to be all over this oncoming glaucoma that he thinks is going on is when I do the visual field test, I struggle with it. But I don't think it's actually because of the glaucoma. Like I said, I feel like I've got pretty good peripheral vision. I think what's happening is that the cortical visual impairment and the delay of seeing the little spark and then hitting the button, I think is leading them to think that my visual field is worse than it is. Or at least that's the way I feel. So they've put me on drops. I'm already on drops for my glaucoma, or for the high eye pressures, because even though they're still the high side of normal, there's no harm in trying to get the pressures down. So I've been on drops for a few years. Well, my current ophthalmologist has put me on a second set of drops, and now I'm taking 2 drops in a day, and it's really irritating. Not just from a inconvenience standpoint, because one of them I do once before bed, that's really easy. The other one I have to do 3 times a day, which means I have to remember 3 times a day. And the other part of it being physically annoying is that these drops dry out my eyes, so then they feel gritty and dry and just such a nuisance. So after doing the second set of drops for a month, I've since been back to the ophthalmologist, and we're going to do this quick laser procedure that he is recommending. And less so now, but in the early days of my CVI and after the stroke and first losing my sight, one of the other conditions that I have in my left eye is strabismus, where my left eye is a little bit off center and kind of looks off to the side of things. That was first pointed out to me not long after the stroke. And the neuro-ophthalmologist in the hospital at the time said to me, I can go in and fix that. It's just a matter of doing this, and it's a quick procedure, really easy to do, and we'll straighten it out. And I'm like, no, I've had enough procedures done for right now. I don't need anything else messing with my eyesight. Thank you very much. That was almost 17 years ago. He says there's not going to be any side effects. He says it's real quick, real easy. A test is going to take like a minute. We're going to do one eye, and then we're going to do the other. I asked him about recovery time. He said, your recovery time is less than 5 minutes. Okay, great. This is good. Actually, this was my wife's concern because we're going out to celebrate my birthday soon after that, and we wanted to know if it was going to be delayed any. But apparently not. So yeah, in 2 weeks, I'm going to get this procedure done, and we'll do the one eye. I'll probably do another video to talk about how that has gone, or at least what the experience was like and how it felt and if there's any change in my eyesight. And then we'll do the other eye and see what happens from there. That is everything I wanted to share in today's video. I want to thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you who watches these videos, who has clicked like down below or subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for doing so. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day.